you all. Can't promise I'm going to be on here for a long time. But I figured I'd hop on and say hello for a couple of minutes while the kiddos are getting ready for school. I just had to wake up and do a reading first thing this morning. I should have done it last night, but I was out of gas, dude. I was out of gas, boy. Out of gas. How's everybody doing? How are you? Today's Thursday, my rest day. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it as a rest day too. Well, I don't know. I noticed one thing this morning when I woke up. That little inner voice, a lot of times that wakes up like, oh, fuck, it's time to get up, because me, I'm the type of person that whenever I crack my eyes open in the morning and I see light in the window, I'm up. As soon as my brain knows that there's sun out there, I'm up. I'm up, period. Like I told y'all the other day, I'm the type where I'll wake up 2 or 3 times to go pee at night, And when I can see that there's no light out there, I can crash back out and go to sleep. But the minute I wake up and I see just the littlest itty bitty bit of light out the window, I'm up, So usually though, this little voice inside of me is like, oh, fuck, it's time to get up, Not this morning. I had that little voice like, yeah, whoo, yeah. It's a good way to wake up. Good way to wake up. So I might go ahead and take this as a rest day. I don't know. I was telling Coach Drew yesterday, it's so funny. I never even thought about it until he asked me. We were talking about manifestations, and he was like saying something to the effect of, what are your plans? Are you still growing your income? And I was like, yeah. And he says, so what actions have you been putting forth growing your income? And I was like, nothing. I've just been letting it grow by itself, It's been pretty much doubling every year. I said, because this right here, all I think about is fitness. That's like really all that my mind is on. That's all I'm thinking about is my fitness, and you know what I mean? And I got to thinking, that's weird. That's weird. I didn't even realize that until he asked me that. I haven't even been thinking. I don't give 2 shits about my income, not that I don't care about it. I do care about it, but I don't care enough to sit and think about it and wonder, how can I make this much money this year? I'm just letting it do that by itself and not even worrying about it. You know what I mean? And all I'm thinking about is my fitness. So that's interesting and weird. That's different. I'm thinking differently, I don't remember what point I was about to make, but I might go ahead and take this as a rest day, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I feel well too. Come up with a protein shake? See, if I was to ever come up with anything, there's lots and lots. Man, you sit and scroll through social media, you see lots and lots and lots and lots of new products that are coming out all the time. I don't know, man. I don't think that I would want to do that until I come up with something that's like, yo, this is for real. Because everybody says, oh, this is unlike anything you've ever had before. Everybody says that, but how often is that true, I would want something that's definitely unlike anything that's ever smacked the market. You know what I mean? Definitely. But the biggest thing that we can do, I think the biggest thing that we can do is those people who are looking to change their life, we have to explain it to them in a way that it goes in their ear and not out the other, but it actually sits there and they think about it, That's what my goal is. With any kind of transformation, I like to be able to explain things in a way that, because I'm not bringing you any new information. That's the thing. I'm not bringing you new information. I'm bringing you age-old information. The things that I teach are things that you've heard people say 1,000 times, but you've never heard anybody explain it like me. You know what I mean? That's my goal. So it's not like, oh man, Rich is bringing some brand new, never before known information. No. I'm bringing you the same information that's flown over your head your whole life. And flown in one ear and out the other your whole life. But I'm saying it in a way that just that one little thing that I say makes it go in your ear and get stuck there. I'm like, let me think about this. You know what I mean? Yep. Yep. Anyway, though. Anyway, I can't promise I'm going to be on here for a real long time. I just went and got my kids up, and I'm having them get ready for school. Just wanted to see what y'all are up to. Just finished a reading. I should have gotten them all done yesterday, but man, I was out of gas yesterday. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to start experimenting with working out later in the evenings. That's what I think I'm going to try. When I very first hopped into my fitness journey, my sessions were at like 2 p.m. every day. And I did that for maybe 2 months, and then I started doing it first thing in the morning. And for over a year now, I've been working out first thing in the morning. Here lately, though, especially since I've been pushing up to the next level, of like athleticism and fitness and whatnot, it's been harder and harder and harder to come home and be focused on my work. It's been really, really hard. That is probably one of the biggest challenges of the entire fitness journey. Man, you zap every ounce of your energy. And I've told you all this, I've been telling you all this, when I say I work out, I mean I work out hard, to where sometimes I have to sit in the parking lot in my car for like 15 minutes just to gather my senses so I can drive. I work out hard, boy. And then I got to come home and try to read these cards. Bro, B to the Rizzo, yo. That's very difficult. Very difficult. So I'm thinking, I just texted him yesterday and I was like, you know what? I'd kind of like to experiment again with some maybe afternoon or evening sessions, and see how that does me. I like to experiment with that a little bit, so I can get my work done, man. So I can wake up and be pumped and put my energy into my work. Because it's so hard. I'll get home and I'll be like, ugh. I'll walk in the door like dripping with sweat. You know what I mean? Got to hop in the shower. And then once I hit that hot ass shower, my body's like, yeah, it's time to relax now. But I got 4 or 5 readings sitting on the table that are due here in the next 2-3 hours that I got to get on, because when you come to me for a reading, assuming that you follow everything that's in the instructions and you make the payment and you have all your information, from the minute all that clears, 24 hours, okay? So a lot of times, especially if it's on a day like where 10 of them come in, I'll do the 5 that I can do that day, the day that they come in, and then the other ones that come in way, way later, I'll wait till like the next day. But still in the 24 hour, there's the time on the paper, So if it's not uncommon at all for, if you pay for a reading, you'll get yours the next actual day, but within the 24 hours. And I done worked out, and I'm like, oh, how am I gonna get the energy? I have to lay down and try to meditate real quick, and it ain't no joke, man. Being a reader, dude, for a living is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. Oh no. If you want to bring 110%, because you want to bring 110% value to the table every time that you can, Yeah. It can be tough. It can be very difficult sometimes. But anyway, I just trailed off there. Basically, yeah, I'm going to be maybe starting next week. I'm going to see if I can experiment with what it would be like to do my fitness in the evenings or in the afternoon or something like that, You dig what I'm saying? Do what? I look younger? Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it has been a slow, gradual change. And that's the thing. You want it to be slow and gradual. That's the thing about it. Because anything that you want in your life that you want to change, you want the frequency to produce that. And the frequency is buried underneath of your subconscious, okay? I'll give you a couple of examples. How many people have you seen win the lottery? Their frequency isn't producing $3 million, $10 million or whatever. You just dump $10 million on a frequency that's probably in lack, you know what I mean? And you just dump all this money on that low frequency. They end up bankrupt. You know what I mean? Every time. How about these people that you see like on social media? Here's how you get ripped abs in 8 weeks. And they do it. They didn't change their frequency though. They didn't change the frequency. Their frequency isn't producing that. You know what I mean? And then they just lose it all and they gain all their weight back. You want to reprogram the subconscious mind. That's the goal. I need to reprogram because my subconscious mind is currently, you know, it's wanting to sit around and eat pizza and be lazy and dude, it's real complicated. My subconscious mind is trying to model my entire life around convenience. My entire life. Next time you go to the store, grocery shopping, where do you park? Where do you park? As close to the door as you possibly can so you don't have to walk. Look, pay attention. Pay attention. Every little thing that we do in our life is modeled around making everything easy so we don't have to do any work. So I'm changing my subconscious mind. I don't give a fuck. I'll park all the way at the end of the parking lot. Yeah, you know, I don't give a shit. I'm not afraid of a little hike, a little walk. When I'm rewiring what's underneath of my conscious awareness, now, once that's all reprogrammed, I don't have to think about it. Without even thinking about it. My new normal is producing a fit body without me having to think about it, without me having to put any conscious effort into it. I'm subconsciously on a frequency that produces that now. You see what I'm saying? Does it make sense? So that's why you want it to be slow and gradual. Oh yes, it would be nice. It would have been very, very nice if I could have just done a few push-ups, done a couple sit-ups, jumped down, turn around, and now I'm ripped and shredded. Yeah, but then I just would have lost it all again because my subconscious mind is still trying to fight against that. You know what I mean? My subconscious mind is still trying to say, yeah, well, let's just say fuck. I just want to get a pizza today and get me a big old pizza and drink me some beer and maybe I'll do it tomorrow. That's what my subconscious mind's trying to do. You know, I'm reprogramming that. So I want it to be slow and gradual. You know what I mean? You dig what I'm saying? Anywho. Oh, I'm cracking and popping. Feels good though. And now this is the cool part too. Like I said, I think I was telling you all this the other day. I can feel all the muscles forming up. I still have a really thin little layer of fat that goes over here. You know, still got a little pooch on my belly. Still got a little bit of fat, about this much. And underneath of that, now I can feel all the muscles starting to form. And now I can feel all that transforming. So that's it's getting me to where I'm like, no, man, let's hit this shit. Let's burn the rest of this fat off. You know what I mean? And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself too. A little bit ahead of myself. We don't want to do that though. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Anyway, though, I don't want to keep talking about the same things I talk about every chat. I don't know. I know there's some people that probably need to hear it, you know, but I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. Let's get some incense going. Let's get some incense going. How y'all doing, though? Y'all doing good? Y'all doing good? Oops. Oh no, I'm spilling ashes on my table. We just cleaned the studio here too. Hang on, I get my lighter. I love my little studio up here, the man cave, if that's what you want to call it. But in your average man cave, you got a fridge with beer in it and sports shit all over the wall. I could give two diddly fucks about any of that stupid shit. I hate it, man. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But I mean, here's my thing too, man. Have you ever noticed that it seems like, I don't know, because a lot of people say, and this is true, that you see more women spiritually awakening than men. But it almost looks like it was done by design. It almost looks like that was done by design to divide men and women. You know what I mean? It looks like it was done by design because you walk into your average spiritual store, everything is geared towards women. They don't really have, like, you go to a spiritual store. I've seen a couple, so I can't say it's every single one, but 98 to 99% of the spiritual stores you walk into that sell clothes sell women's clothes. Why? The jewelry. Every time I ever go buy a crystal bracelet at a spiritual store, I always have to cut it and put it all back together on a bigger thing for my wrist because it's made for women. I swear, I think it was done by design. I think it was done by design. Men have been systematically dumbed down. Okay? It's done by design. Can't go too far down those paths, but it was done by design. Systematically dumbing down men. So yes, typically on average, men are much, much dumber, but I hate to burst your bubble, they're not naturally dumber. They were programmed to be dumber. Men were programmed to be stupid. And they fucking, you set that trap, your average man will jump right into it with both feet, you know? But, so my man cave is a spiritual man cave, you know what I mean? And yes, it does have its masculine wave of energy to it, you know. I got any fellows watching? We got to get divine masculine energy to start balancing out, because everybody's all about the divine feminine, you know, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that, but we got to balance this shit, y'all. You have no idea how easy it is to infiltrate the spiritual community and get them to fuck things up. Divine feminine, yes, we definitely need to bring in the divine feminine, but we can't have it out of balance with the divine masculine. They have to be balanced together, okay? Because if we just dump all the divine feminine in, then it's just going to throw everything off balance, and then those who are trying to fuck things up, they win again, you know? They win again. They win again. We have to, that's why I really think that, and it can be kind of like there's a lot of dudes that are a little bit embarrassed, you know what I mean? To get on a public platform. And, you know, we can't do that. We got to show the fellas that you can still be masculine and you're allowed to be heterosexual. Yes, you are. And you can still be in touch with your feelings and be spiritual and whatnot and very intuitive, you know? You're allowed to be straight. Fuck that. I don't care what they say. You're allowed to. Yes, you are. Now, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the gay dudes. That's not what I'm saying. But you're allowed to be a straight man who's masculine and spiritual and in touch with his feelings and his intuition. Okay, they're trying to shame that shit. You know what I mean? Again, it's all done by design to infiltrate and fuck things up. Because the minute we all come together and we start balancing these divine energies, which we are anyway, but we could speed this process up, you know? The minute we start doing that, the old game is over, dude. The old game is over. Aquarian men. Yeah. Well, we are in the age of Aquarius now, so. We are in that age of Aquarius. Yeah, there was a very interesting shift, wasn't there? Because I can remember just within the last 10 years when the Aquarius man was like the most hated man in the entire zodiac, you know? I can remember that. Just 5, 6, 7 years ago, less than 10 years ago. You get to doing some research on astrology. Everybody hates Aquarius men, you know? Everybody was like, I'll never date another Aquarius man. No, ladies, don't date an Aquarius man. You know what I mean? And yeah, your low vibrational Aquarius man can be a piece of shit, absolutely. But there was an interesting shift in that now. Now it seems like the Aquarians are some of the most appreciated people. It's really weird how that like spun around overnight, you know? And I think I might have helped because I started doing those videos on Aquarius. For those of you who don't know, that's how my career actually got started back in 2016. I put a video up called The Brutal Truth About Aquarius. I was drunk. I was like, man, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to make a video about this. And I sat down and I recorded it. And I recorded a big old bunch of videos on different signs. And I put them on YouTube and totally forgot about it because I was drinking heavy back then. And then that one video, though, last I looked, it's got like 100,000 views. It popped off. And people started requesting more. So that's what I started doing. I started making more videos with a more in-depth, non-bias explanation of Aquarian behavior and some of the motives and intentions behind why Aquarius people do and don't do certain things. And it seems like ever since I started doing that, I've noticed a big shift in, the general consensus of Aquarians. Now, I'm not taking full total credit for that, but I do think that me putting my voice out there when it came to that really, really helped shift that, I think so. At least that's what I've noticed. That is what I've noticed. But entering into the Aquarian age that we're in now, it's been very important that anybody that has a very heavy Aquarius influence actually start utilizing it, You can utilize it for good or you can utilize it for bad, Yeah, it probably did. It probably did. I like to stay humble though, and I like to stay as humble as possible, but sometimes I kind of forget the reach that my voice has because I don't really think about it all the time, But yeah, I'm sure it did. Anyway, anywho, whoa. Ooh, the King of Cups jumped out on the floor for me. Gonna be a good day. Anyway, anywho, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna check the time here on my laptop. $7:36. Okay, so I got about maybe 20 more minutes and I can sit and blab. Maybe 20 more minutes. No, I don't know about the 4 worlds. Don't know about all that. There's more than 4 worlds though. More than 4 worlds. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I'm sure they do. There's a lot of different worlds out there, boy. A lot of different worlds out there. I'm looking forward to the time where we are able to see more than this little world, And I've been thinking about it a lot here lately too, how I've been talking about weird, funky dreams, and I've heard a lot of people. Leah's been talking about it. Lots of people have been talking about weird, funky dreams. I just really honestly think that we've gone through a period where a lot of us have had more access to our astral body, a lot more access to it. So when the ego goes to sleep, the consciousness, which is still attached to the ego, goes off and plays games in other little dimensions. There's still kind of low dimensions that are close to this one, but we bring it all back and we bring full recollection, full recollection back. And I really think a lot of us have been gaining more access to our astral body, access to the memories. So there's been a lot of, there's the person that I get most of my intel from in regards to this can word it a lot differently than me, but there are a lot of really crazy, insane energies that are smacking the planet right now. I'm just ready, like I was saying the other day, though, I'm ready to get through this. I'm getting kind of bored with it, aren't you? Ready to get through this. Come on, man. Sleepy sheepies, wake up. Sleepy sheepies, wake up. Wake up, sleepy sheepies, wake up. Yeah. Because there's those of us who have been awake for years and years and years and years, we already know what's going on, And it's teasing us. I say, oh, you have to remain patient. It's like, dude, we've been patient for years now. Years now. And those people who, I don't know, they're still, see, we're the minority. Those of us who have been awake for many, many years are in the minority. What's tipping it over the edge is the people who are just now awakening, And there is a pretty staggering number of people who have just recently awakened, Could you imagine that? I couldn't really imagine that. My awakening kind of was a bit of a slow, gradual process, But the more awakened I became, the more this life started making sense to me. And I'm like, okay, this world makes more sense now, And we just kind of sat in limbo waiting for the doo-doo to hit the fan. Well, it started hitting the fan last year. Now we're like, okay, let's get through it, you know, because we've been waiting on this for years. This is what we've been sitting and waiting on for years. We've been talking about this for years. This is it. We're here. We're here now. I'm trying to tiptoe through the tulips with the things that I say, you know, but we're getting real impatient. I know I am. I know I am. Right. But at the end of the day, I do trust that we will be able to look back in hindsight. And I mean, honestly, I do too. It does. Just looking back on the last year and a half does make sense, you know? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Because if you look back, like I said, you just look back the last year and a half, look how many people have awakened. The majority of the planet is awake now. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not an incredibly huge number of people that need to still awaken, but we are seeing more people awake on the planet today than we ever thought possible. 5 years ago, it was unspeakable, the number of people that are awake now. And that's the reason why they're doing it all this way. That's the reason why. And it makes sense looking back. That doesn't make it any more frustrating though, you know? Doesn't make it any more frustrating, or any less frustrating, I'm sorry. I think the country that's, from what I've seen and the people that I know, it's the UK. I think they're the most, from what I've heard and from what little I've witnessed and the people that I know, they are like pretty much the most fucking brainwashed out of all of them, you know? So programmed by that TV and that news, you know what I mean? So, I don't know though, there could be some other ones. There could be some others, but from the people that I know in the UK and what I've seen and what I've heard, yeah, they're among probably going to be the last ones to awaken, you know? Programmed, boy, programmed. But that's the weird thing about me. I've never, like those of us who, like I said, my actual awakening started around, I would say, about 2017 is when I would really say my eyes started popping open. But up to that point, I just always thought something was wrong with me. I always thought something was wrong with me because I was unable to be programmed into the matrix, period. So I just thought something was wrong with me, you know? I just thought I was crazy. So I don't know if you could technically say that that was me being awake. I was kind of born with this energy signature that couldn't be manipulated, really. Not really. It could be lowered and damaged and fucked with, but you couldn't take it and stuff it into your box, you know? I just thought something was wrong with me. I thought something was wrong with me, you know? Oh, I'm ready to get through it, though. I'm ready to get through it. Some really good things have been happening, though. Some really good things have been happening, but, you know, everything that happens, it's all slowly. It's all transitioning slowly, so. Anyway, the Second World War took 5 years to get through. So we're only, what, a year and a half into the third one? It would probably be in our best interest to be a little bit more patient than we are. We're so programmed to have everything instantaneously now, you know? I don't know. Anyway, though. Anywho. No, I sure don't fit in. Nope. Never have. And it took me forever to realize that I'm not supposed to. See, a lot of people think that weirdness is a virtue, you know? But usually the people that think weirdness is virtuous are people who have been normal for so many years and they're tired of it and they want to break out of that. And they want to break out of the norm and go be weird. But when you're born weird, and that's all you've ever experienced your entire life, you've never been able to fit in, you've never been welcomed in to anything, you know what I mean? Then it doesn't really feel like weirdness is a virtue at that point. It's like, no, I'd like to at least experience once what it's like to fit into something, you know? That's how I was pretty much my whole life growing up. I would like to feel accepted and like I fit in. I can't. And the harder I try, the harder it fights against me, you know? So it took me forever to realize that I'm not supposed to. If you feel like you don't fit in, it's because you were here to create something new. And that's a lot of people think too. I get a lot of questions. People ask me things like, why do I feel so alone? You know what I mean? Or why can't I find any like-minded people? How come everybody around me is so asleep and so programmed and this and that and this and that? Because if you are one of those people that were here to help create a new world, you're not going to be, what good would that do you to be stuck in a population of people who think just like you? You know what I mean? It wouldn't do you any good. It wouldn't do you any good at all. If you're here to help usher in a new world and you're here to help create something different, you're going to be stuck where most of the changes need to be made. Like I was telling somebody the other day, a lot of Starseeds end up in jail and prison. You wouldn't think, would you? A lot of volunteers who are here from like other star systems and whatnot get stuck in jail and get stuck in prison and end up drug addicts and alcoholics because they're being pulled to where their energy is needed the most. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just you hear these cute little fluffy phrases, you know, like starseed, light worker, and it paints this picture in your mind like, ooh la la la, light shining down. I'm supposed to be floating on a cloud somewhere. No. You're not supposed to be floating on no cloud. You're supposed to take your energy where it's needed the most. A lot of them end up in jails and prisons and in the ghettos and in the slums and in some of the places that you would never, because that's where that energy is needed. You don't need to bring your new high vibration and sometimes it doesn't even need to be a high vibration. It's just an energy signature that's foreign to the planet. What good would that be to take that to somewhere where all the energy is already high and doing good? You got to start from the bottom, you know? You got to take that energy where it's needed the most. Mm-hmm. Yup. Absolutely, positively. Yep. Anywho, let's pull me some cards. Am I going to have a good day today? Let's see if I'm going to have a good day today. I'm feeling pretty good. I still have one reading. Well, at least it's printed out. A bunch of them came in yesterday, but I got one printed out over there that's due before 1. Let's see if I'm going to have a good day today. This is a dark, gloomy deck, too. The Lover's card. Woo-hoo. Yep, I'm going to have me a pretty good old day today. I can't read my own stuff, though. Ooh. Well, at least these 2 cards came out, but I don't care about those other ones, but the Lover's card and the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. I like this deck here. I'm normally not into doom and gloom, but I like this one. I got the Tarot Vintage coming in the mail, too. Isn't this cool? Badass, dude. You know what I want? I would like to be able to get a sword, a cup, a pentacle, and a wand and hang them on my wall. I want to be the magician for Halloween. That's what I should be, shouldn't I? I should get me like the red cloak, and a white headband, and get me my little wand, and I'll have a sword. Carry around a sword, a cup, and a pentacle, and a wand. A sword and a wand in my... Wouldn't that be cool? I want to be the magician for Halloween. Everybody always asks me, what's your favorite card? The Magician, bro. The Magician, the Manifester, the Alchemist. Yeah. Everybody says, oh, I need me a King of Cups. I need me a Queen of Cups, or I need me a King of Wands, or whatever. Shit, no you don't. Get your ass a magician. Get your ass a magician. Get you somebody who's mastered all 4 elements. You know what I mean? Anyway, though, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Done run out of stuff to talk about. A Virgo. Yeah, I always thought it would be cool too to be able to make a tarot deck where you get a bunch of tarot card readers to be the characters. Wouldn't that be cool? Go through and get a big old bunch of YouTube tarot card readers to all be characters in this one tarot deck. Wouldn't that be cool? I'll be the magician or the King of Swords. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it'd be awesome. Get a bunch of YouTube tarot card readers. Hit them all up and pay them. Say, hey, you want to be a character in a tarot deck? In the YouTube tarot deck? That'd be cool. As long as I can be the magician. I want to be the magician standing there at my table with my little, whatever that thing is he's holding. Or I'll be the King of Swords. Tee-hee. Tee-hee. And my kids, hey, can my kids be in it? They can be the page of cups, or I'm sorry, the page of swords and the page of wands. Yeah. Nevaeh can be the page of swords. Amy can be the page of wands. They're both air signs, but yeah. Now that I'm thinking about that, we've already kind of made a commitment. We've already kind of made a commitment to what we're going to do for Halloween. But now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at my poster over there, I'm looking at my tapestry. And I'm thinking, man, now I want to be the magician. I want to be the magician. Damn it, man. Oh, well. Oh, well. Paint or draw me. Yeah, I guess. I just think it would be cool to be able to, like, do we have any tarot decks that is actually pictures of people, or is it all just artwork? I don't know. Anyway, that'd be cool. That would be cool. The Golden Girls deck? Oh, I don't know. They got, I don't know, man. In my thing, they got a bunch of really cool decks out there. But like I said, me, if it's not like Rider-Waite based, I don't like it. That's just me, man. That's just me. Somebody that I know personally just sent me a picture of a tarot deck the other day and said, look at this new deck that I got. And it's like one of those decks that like make no sense, you know? It's like 6 of Swords and it's a picture of a bird in a tree, you know? I'm like, what the hell? 5 of Wands and it's a picture of a raccoon. I'm like, what the fuck? I hate that shit, man. Can't stand that. I have an Oracle deck. I've been saying, and actually, as a matter of fact, I think I have it right here. I think it's in this tub of stuff here. But I got my first Oracle deck very shortly before I left, very shortly after I very first started reading. And when I was living up in Maine, and I left it in Maine when I left there. And I've been saying that I'm going to introduce Oracle into my readings since right when I first started, but I haven't done it. And I went ahead and bought another copy of that same Oracle deck, and I still haven't started using it in my videos yet. Hang on, I think it's in this one. Hold up, y'all. Oh, I think it's in this one. I forget what it's called, like Divination of the Ancients or something like that. Got my little, the CEO of YouTube congratulating me for 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, Oh, here it is. Yep. There it is. Let me put this shit away real quick. I've been saying that I'm gonna put Oracle in my readings for fucking months and months and months and months and months, and I still haven't done it. Yeah, this is my Oracle deck. Divination of the Ancients. Like I said, I got this when I very first started reading. I got this same deck and I left it up in Maine. And last year I went ahead and ordered the same deck, but I just still haven't put it in my readings yet. I still haven't. Handwriting, authenticity. It's weird. I would want to be able to know all the cards instead of just, I don't even know how I'd put it into my readings, man. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Some pretty cool cards, though. You know, it's pretty neat, but I just don't know how. I could be just overthinking it, you know? Overthinking the process of how I would put it in there. Pretty neat, though. I mean, I don't really have a solid opinion for or against them, but I've never really done it. I've never sat down with an Oracle deck and tried to read anything, like, seriously, you know what I mean? These are some big-ass cards, too. The shuffling would be very different. These things are huge. These things are huge, dude. Anyway, I don't know, man, if I'm gonna put this in there. Like I said, if I just like to keep it simple. And I don't know if that's getting in the way or what, but I like to keep it simple. I like a Rider-Waite based deck, and that's it. If it's not a Rider-Waite based deck, I don't really want to read with it, you know? Not really. Again, I don't know if I'm holding myself back on that or what, but I don't know. So far, it's working very, very well. Me just using a good old tarot deck. I like tarot cards too, anyway. Finally caught live. Thanks for tuning in. Just make sure you got all notifications turned on. YouTube likes to do that sometimes. Sometimes they just don't notify people, you know. I don't have too much longer, and I'm going to be having to get out of here anyway. I just wanted to hop on and say hello. I would have been on earlier, but I had to get up and do a reading right away. It was one that it was getting pushed out to the very last hour of the due, of when it was due, so I had to go ahead and get it done. But I would still like to keep my... Well, of course, like I was saying earlier, I think I'm going to be switching up my fitness schedule and not doing that first thing in the morning. So if I do that, I don't know what kind of schedule I'm going to have for this channel here, but anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I've thought about a few different things that I could use the Oracle cards with. I've thought about it. Little collective reading, yeah, I thought about that. I might. Now that I got them out, I'm going to have them out, and I'm going to have them sitting here. I'm going to keep them sitting right here so that I can see them. And it's going to keep reminding me every time I see them to start, man, introduce your little Oracle cards into there, you know? And then eventually maybe for like the September bonuses or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Anyway, though, y'all, let me see what time it is. It's about time for me to hop up out of here. Kind of a boring chat this morning, but I just still wanted to hop on and let everybody know I'm still alive and kicking. Okay, yeah, it is time for me to go ahead and get on out of here. It's about 8 a.m. here in Vegas, so got to get the kiddos ready and on the bus. I'll see you all sometime later on my main channel with, I'm going to keep those end of summer bonuses going for the individual signs. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your morning.